What's up, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. Your girl is back. I hope I look refreshed because, your girl is refreshed, like actually refreshed this time. And if I don't, hopefully, the concealer is doing its job, right? I'm gonna just go ahead and apologize for how much I play with my hair in this video because I'm not used to having all of this hair around me. I don't know how people do it. Like, I basically ended up putting like light curls in my hair just to shrink it up because, like, y'all, my hair is so long. My fellow big girls with long hair, does your hair get stuck in your back fat? Cause mine does. Today I'm just here to chill out with you. I definitely want to make it a point to do more kind of sit down chit chat type videos, and this is what we're going to do to kick off this year. I want to sit down and just talk to you guys about goals, things that I refuse to bring into 2022 because, I learned a lot this past year. I learned a lot. I won't necessarily say that I went through a lot because I don't necessarily feel like anything per se happened to me, but I also feel like I just noticed more. Like, I feel like for a lot of us, 2021 really opened our eyes. It made us look more and made us think more. And it's kind of like one of the TikTok creators I follow, I can't remember his name, but he was basically saying how, like, when your eyes are open, your choices become slim because you no longer accept just anything. And that's just kind of where I am right now. So let's just go ahead and get right into it. We're going to talk about things that your girl ain't bringing into 2022 because we ain't accepting no more bullshit. We ain't doing this no more. So let's go ahead and get right into it. Before we get into the talking, I am going to mention my fragrance of the day because you guys did say that you wanted me to keep doing it. So today's fragrance of the day is Paco Rabanne Olympia Intense. She is a beautiful amber salted caramel fragrance, and I love her. Very sexy, feminine, but also strong, daring. If you're wearing this, you want to be noticed, you want to be seen, you want people to know that you walk into the room, and people will smell you as soon as you walk into the room. Beautiful, salty, amber and caramel fragrance. 2021 was like, 2021 was like that sibling that pops up back into your life after they haven't been around for a while and just makes you realize that shit ain't hitting like it's supposed to. Like, I feel like 2021 was that girl, right? We all realized that, like, the jobs ain't shit, and they always been ain't shit, but now, like, we just don't really have the motivation to continue to deal with ain't shit jobs. The job market ain't never been shit, but now we see it. We see the way our bodies have been commodified, and so many of us don't want to deal with it. And also, like, coming into being a full-time YouTuber, which is something that I don't feel like doing long-term. Like, definitely by the end of next year, I definitely plan on being back in the workforce, but on my own terms. And being in the public eye full-time made me realize a lot. And it really made me kind of decide, like, the trajectory that I want to go, like, in my life, in my career, and in my YouTube career as well. Which, can we just talk about how, like, y'all, it's amazing how, like, when people say that sometimes success in influencing is just luck, like, let me tell you, your girl is going viral right now on Instagram, and it is the weirdest thing that has ever happened to me. I started talking about my endometriosis journey more over the last year. I had kind of stopped just because for a while, the only people that were engaging with my endometriosis content were, like, the select few people that, had been through it, but mostly it was just perverts. And, when you're talking about going through one of the most traumatic experiences of your life, like, you don't care about a man trying to get off, right? So for a while, I had stopped posting endo content because it was just becoming a window for men to be men, And I started posting my endo content more during 2021, and literally at the beginning of this year, 2022, a post that I had posted maybe like 2 weeks before the end of 2021 went viral. And it was a story about how I had gone to a gyno and I was really at my wit's end. Honestly, like I was so sick that I really was thinking about the fact that I didn't want to live anymore. Like that's how sick I was. And the man had the nerve to tell me that he wouldn't do anything about it unless I was in my 30s or I had a husband to consent. And I mean, just absolutely disgusting. I've told you guys a story before, but it was the first time that I had put it in like post form. So it's been really weird. Like yesterday, I just spent the whole day in silence. Like I turned my phone off. Like it's a lot, because it's one thing to go viral for something like using a certain product in your hair, or some weird like makeup trend. Like it's one thing to go viral for that, but it's another thing to go viral for something that's incredibly serious and something that really touches people to their core, something that really touches women to their core. And it's been a lot, like emotionally, because so many people are leaving their stories under that post, and it just makes me sad that anyone has ever felt the way that I had to feel, you know? Stuff like that, like you wouldn't wish it on your worst enemy, like you just wouldn't. So that has like already been changing like my thought process and my trajectory like going into 2022. And I'm not going to be pivoting my content or anything, but it was just a reminder that no matter how many people see your story, like it does matter to people and it affects people. And I think that right now, like God, the universe, and all of them is just trying to tell me like this is the time. This is the time. And it's funny because pretty much all of the content that has done the best on my Instagram platform since I really started like taking it seriously, it's been my endometriosis content. And I think that's like the perfect place to share it. So in 2022, I really want to do better with like focusing on my Instagram. Since I've been gone over the last week, I took a break just to like not do anything, but I also took a break to really like beef up my Instagram content and making sure that I have things to post and all of those things. I tend to neglect my other platforms, and I really want to be better about that this year. Moving on from that, because I'm still kind of shell-shocked from the fact, like, literally my phone hasn't stopped going off in like the last 3 days. It's weird. I don't know how people do it. I don't know how people go viral. It's weird. But at the top of my list for things that I am leaving in 2021, I am leaving people who are always bringing drama in 2021. Like I am, oh my God, I'm so tired of it. You know, this is the thing. When you go into being in a public space, drama is to a point kind of inevitable, because you never know when sharing an opinion or just saying what you feel is going to upset people or make people mad or whatever. But there's a big difference from drama just happening and then there always being those people that are obsessed with bringing drama and negativity into your life. And I don't think I noticed it when I was still working a 9 to 5, because I had something else to distract me, you know, like I had annoying ass old women at my job getting on my nerves, and you know, some of the best customers and some of the worst customers, like all those things going on. And you know, when I was on my off days, I was doing YouTube, but I still had something else to make me think about something other than whatever shit was going on YouTube, with the exception of some things that have happened that really tainted my YouTube journey for a second. But y'all know, I done talked about that. I've denounced that. I don't want to be a part of certain people's situations, but I started to notice how whenever something good would happen to me, or I would get a brand deal, like I would work with a brand or whatever, someone would either always hit me up with tea, like random tea about a brand. Oh, you work with this brand. Well, guess what? I heard something about them. Or it's, girl, you know that girl you don't like? Guess what video she just did? Guess what she doing? Guess what she talking about? I don't give a fuck. I really don't. why are you calling me just to talk about people that you know I don't fuck with? Why, instead of just saying congratulations, oh girl, well, you working with them, well, I heard this and I heard that. In that moment, y'all, unless the brand owner done killed somebody, I don't care. I just want to enjoy my time. I just want to enjoy my moment. I want to enjoy where I am. And you kind of start to notice how there's certain people, whenever you're happy, they pull up with some little nuggets of unhappiness. They pull up with hateration and holleration that they want to bring all up into your dancery. And I'm not letting them into my dancery in 2022. I've been blessed to have like really, really good friends in this space. Like I have, since taking myself out of certain situations, I have developed some of the most amazing friends in this YouTube space. And I hold those friendships close because it's hard to find friends in this space. A lot of people don't want to be your friend. They just want to ride your coattails. They want to, you know, use your ideas, and they want to use you to get to the people who trust you. And it's always really beautiful when you have good friends in this space. But I feel like you always do have to kind of look and say, like, why is it every time certain people, and these are not my friends, like y'all know who my friends in this space are, and this ain't got nothing to do with them, but why is it always that certain people, like whenever you're happy, always have something bad to say, always have something negative to say, or always mad about something? Y'all got to stay where y'all at. Okay. In 2022, if you can't be happy for your friends, if you can't let your friends live in a state of peace, especially if you know that they have gone through a lot to get out of certain situations, if you can't stop bringing that shit to their door, then you need to leave them alone. You need to figure out your own stuff. That is your problem. You have a problem with your internalized negativity, and you need to stop bringing it to other people. And this is just for anyone. Whatever space you're in, don't let people come in and try to taint your happiness, you know? I'm thankful for all of the amazing people that I have in my life, and I'm gonna keep it that way. All the way. Oh, I don't know about y'all, but I definitely have kind of been hit with imposter syndrome, right? And this kind of idea that if you don't look a certain way, if you're not doing things a certain way or acting a certain way, that you're not worthy of the things that you have been getting and the things that you have achieved. And I kind of thought about, y'all know, this is my 5-year anniversary on YouTube. I've been on YouTube for 5 years, and it doesn't feel like it. It feels like I've been on YouTube for 5 seconds. But I think that's just because I genuinely enjoy what I do here. I genuinely enjoy being in this space. And I kind of just ride the wave, you know? But I really am leaving this obsession with perfectionism. I'm really trying to leave that in 2021. Just understanding that there is no true perfection. And even if it looks perfect to you, someone is always going to have something to say about it, you know? You can't make everybody happy. And there really is no such thing as something being absolutely perfect. And I actually, like, this last week of me just like being off YouTube, I've just been kind of playing around just like with light, with shape, with color, and just letting things be cluttered, you know? Like, oh my goodness, I'm so sick of minimalism. I'm so sick of minimalism in stores. I'm sick of minimalism in restaurants. And I'm sick of minimalism on YouTube, especially because so many of the minimalists that I follow here on YouTube, it always just bites them in the ass. Like, I can't tell you guys how many people I've watched that like do all of these declutters. You know, they are trying to go back to hardcore minimalist ways, and they declutter all this stuff just to buy it again. And I'm just like, it's okay to say that you're just like the rest of us and that you like having shit. Like, that's fine, you know? I feel like this kind of idea of like forced minimalism and this forced like clean identity, like for some people that really is what they are, you know, who they are at heart, like that's their thing. But I think for a lot of us, like we have fallen into, and I know for me specifically, I've fallen into this like trap of thinking that everything has to be white and clean lines and, you know, like not a lot of stuff. And I've just always been a girl with a lot of stuff. And I don't think there's anything wrong with that being your aesthetic, you know? I've been trying really hard to pinpoint, like over the last year, what is my aesthetic? And I'm starting to realize that my aesthetic is deeply tied to color and like organized chaos, okay? And I'm just okay with that. This is who I am. I definitely like plan on changing a lot of things, but at the same time, like I don't want to sterilize what gets me going, you know what I'm saying? So I'm really trying to like kind of let that go. And I've, you know, me and my friends have talked about this a lot, and they said the same thing. Like, it's just, you feel like you're trying to like chip away at the things that make you, you, simply to fit like a brand aesthetic or to fit the aesthetics that are popular on the internet. And I just don't feel like I fit into any of those, and I think that I need to embrace that. And if you feel the same way, then I hope you start embracing that too. Like, I think I really need to embrace the things that make me feel good, that inspire me, that like get my creative juices turning. So this is kind of where I am with that. That's more of like a creator thing, you know, just trying to figure out what it is that makes you click. I think I'm getting there, y'all. I think I'm getting there. The next thing that I'm leaving in 2021, I'm done explaining myself. Listen, I said it once. If you didn't get it that one time, that's your problem. I'm not going to continue to explain myself in 2022. I am fully, especially in the natural hair community, I am fully done with people feeling like you need to prove your honesty in this community. And I think it was my boo, Roger Dwayne. He had made a post on Instagram one day. You should go follow him, by the way. He has adorable hair. He has like the sweetest personality, just a super bubbly person. Like, he's that bubbly person that we all wish we could be, but most of us just aren't, you know? But he was saying how it just kind of irks him every time that like creators are like, it's not sponsored, it's not sponsored, it's not sponsored. I promise it's not sponsored. I'm honest. I promise it's not sponsored. And just saying how like that just further perpetuates like this idea that the majority of us are lying to you. And I thought about that and I said, you know what, you're right. Because I found myself doing it, especially like on Instagram, saying like, oh, it's not sponsored, this isn't sponsored, I just like it. And at the end of the day, like, I've spent so much time just sharing what I like with you guys. I put on so many people for free. You know, I have really made it a point to just share what I believe in, right? And at some point you really just get tired of having to feel like you have to completely like reiterate something all the time for people to believe it. If you don't show this one brand in every video, then, well, do you not like it anymore? Were you lying? No, I just have other things I want to talk about, you know? You get tired of feeling like you have to explain yourself. And I'm really going to make it a point this year to stop explaining myself. If you don't see She Sent It, Main Choice, Curl Origin, Nature's Little Secret, or what have you in a favorites video, it might be just because I've talked the brands to death. Some of them work with me and some of them don't. But I'm going to talk about what I'm loving in that moment. And I also want to give room to new things. And I want to be able to share new things that I'm loving. The brands that I really got popular for talking about are not always going to be the main focus in my videos moving forward, you know? Longevity also requires change. And, you know, while I will always love the things that I love and I will always share them to some extent, I'm not going to mention the same stuff in every single video. And if that feels like a breach of honesty to people, then this just isn't the place for them. You know, if I've been showing the same product to you and telling you that I love it for the last 4 or 5 years and you still don't believe that I love it, then that's not an issue with me. Then that's an issue with other people, you know? And there's nothing that you can do about that. As a creator, you cannot make people believe you. You just can't. Not everybody is going to believe you. Not everybody is going to feel that you're honest. People will feel that you're too positive. But one thing I found this year is I didn't realize how many people respected me in this space. Like, I really didn't. Sometimes you do so much work and you don't necessarily know that people value you until you know what I'm saying? And just the amount of love that I've gotten this year, and just realizing how many people really respect me in this space. And it's always shocking to see, because it's easy to discredit yourself. But I'm just here to tell you, you might not think that you're doing the damn thing, but you are. You're doing the damn thing. Even if you don't think you are, you're doing the damn thing. And I'm here to tell you that. But I just really appreciate all the people who really respect my opinions, who trust my opinions, who buy products because I like them. Like, that is just insane to me. And all I can say is that I'm just going to continue to be me. I'm going to continue to be honest. And it just is what it is. Like, I'm just going to continue to be me. So this year, I'm committing myself to completely changing the space that I live in. I'm not talking about moving. I'm personally not ready to move. I can't see myself moving until, I don't want to say until things go back to normal, but I just feel like we're still too knee deep in this pandemic for me to feel comfortable moving. So I'm just going to continue to stack my coins so that when I do leave, I can get exactly what I want and be happy with what I want. But this room in particular, y'all, I was talking to my mom the other day, and y'all know all the health issues that I've had. And I've been wanting to redo the space for a while. And I had the realization, I don't know if you guys are like this, but when I get really depressed, like when I fall into depression, I kind of turn into a slob. And I think a lot of people do this, but like, I'll just have shit everywhere. Like, I just like don't care. And I'm starting to realize that like this room, I want this room to look nothing like what it has looked like for the last 15 years of my life. Okay. Like, for real, like I haven't changed really anything. Like, I've added new furniture. I've added, little things here and there, but I'm about to paint this shit down. I want a new bed. I want new shelving. I want new everything, because this room reminds me so much of all of the horrible shit I've been through for the last 10 years. And it is not doing me any favors. This is supposed to be the place where I am the most comfortable, where I am the most relaxed. I mean, even my bed, I can still feel the lumps in my bed from being bedridden, basically, like this room reminds me of so much trauma. And I just kind of had that realization. I was like, I need to change this so that I'm comfortable where I'm living and I'm happy in this space. Like, this is supposed to be my resting place. Like, this is the place where I'm supposed to be inspired, the place where I create for you guys. And high key, y'all, I hate being in here. I hate it. Like, I really do. I hate going to sleep in here. I dream about all the horrible things that I've been through being in this room, because so many of the things that I have been through, like I said, have kind of left me bedridden. So many bad things have happened to me in this room, and I don't want to carry that throughout this year. So over time, like, you guys are going to see a lot of things change. I'm probably going to have like my best friend come over and help me paint. I'm going to be adding some shelves in over here. And then just looking at new bedding, looking at getting a new bed frame. I want everything to look like I've never been here before. That's really what I want. I want everything to look like I've never been here. So there's that. I think that's really important for me. Going into this year, it's something that I really started to notice, that like, I really hate being in here. And I need to make a change. I really just hate being in here. So that's something that I'm going to be changing. Listen, the next thing is, I tell everybody yes, and I'm always telling myself no. Are y'all like this? I am always committing myself to other people's causes, other people's needs, other people's wants, other people's desires. I am always motivating people. And I don't do that enough for myself. And this year, I got to start telling more people no and telling myself yes. I make a lot of sacrifices for people. And this is something that I think is really important for a lot of us who are empaths, for those of us who are very generous. Really understanding that you don't get mad at other people because you chose to put in effort that you didn't have to choose, especially when they didn't ask for it. A lot of times we give and we give and we give to people and we get mad at them because they don't appreciate it, but they didn't ask for that, you know? And that's definitely something that I have been thinking about this year, that I give a lot to people and I don't get a lot back. But at the same time, it's like, it's kind of manipulative to feed good things into other people, expecting something in return when they didn't even ask for those good things that you fed into them, you know? Not everybody is going to be who you are. Not everybody is going to be as generous as you are, but the best way to go about that is to be more generous to yourself. Stop putting so much time into other people, especially when they didn't ask for it. But if you know that that person is not the type of person that's going to be there for you, then why do you keep funneling all of your energy into that person, you know? I think especially like being ill and just kind of watching all the things that my family has gone through. Like my family, my parents in particular, definitely suffer with that oldest kid syndrome. My entire life, I have watched my parents give too much. And I have turned into that kid that gives too much. I was that child that gave too much. I was that adolescent that gave too much. And now I'm that adult that gives too much. And in 2021, I've definitely been going through the growing pains of telling people no matter how bad they want me to say yes. And it's really hard because people will really hit you with the nasty stuff when you choose yourself, you know? A lot of people want me to do certain things because they feel like that's just what I should do. But at the same time, I'm like, why should I be sacrificing myself? Why should I be sacrificing my life just to do this? I can be a good person and help you without neglecting myself. And I'm realizing that I've given way too much for way too long, and I have to do better about funneling that energy back into me, even to the point where I found myself like, you know, always wanting to be that person that does stuff, like being that person that is a doer. And I was definitely like that person through college. Like if you hit me up and said you wanted something done, it was going to be done. If you had a project that you wanted done, it was going to be done. But to what extent did I do it? You know, like I really harmed myself trying to be that person that always showed up, you know? And understanding it now is really important to me because it took my parents to be in, you know, their 50s, 60s, understanding this, you know? Like we're just having conversations within our household about boundaries and how we haven't set boundaries with our family members, and then we wonder why they take and take and take and never give. Well, they never had to because we've never set boundaries with them. We got to work on that, okay? Especially my empaths. You got to start telling people no, and you need to start telling yourself yes. And the last thing I'm going to be letting go of that's not coming with me in 2022 is fear. Y'all, we are taking the training wheels off. I have spent so much of my life afraid of being successful. You know, we've kind of talked about this before, but I've mentioned that, you know, these last few years, like post excision surgery and getting all my medications right and just being in a better space, I have lived with so much fear that the other shoe was going to drop. Like I play it safe. I don't take risks. I miss out on really good opportunities because I'm afraid that at any moment, all of the horrible things that I was dealing with are going to come rushing back. And don't get me wrong, like, at the end of the day, I still have endometriosis. I still have to live with my disease and be mindful of taking care of myself and just making sure that my body is good. That means that I have to take more breaks. I have to rest more. And that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. I've also learned this year that you can totally live a peaceful and restful life and still get shit done and still be productive. And that this world's idea of productivity is just garbage. But I have really like not gone for the things that I've wanted, not gone for the opportunities that I've wanted when it comes to YouTube and even just like 9-to-5 jobs. I've been so afraid of doing things because I've been afraid that my body is going to fail me. I can't continue to bring that into my life anymore. We cannot keep on doing that. I've come too far to continue to be afraid of my body, you know? In a lot of ways, my body has let me down, but I'm doing so much better now. And I actually saw my doctor a few weeks ago, and me and him literally were just like tearing up thinking about how miserable I was when I first saw him. And just being in his office and like I'm smiling and laughing, and I wasn't that person. Like when I first met him, like I wasn't sure that I wanted to exist anymore. You know, like I was on the verge of becoming a full-blown addict at the time. And I wasn't sure that I was going to make it. Like I wasn't convinced that I was going to be strong enough to make it. And when he stepped in, he was more than what I needed, you know? And it was really hard to let someone come in and take over in that situation, especially a healthcare professional, because they failed me so many times. Even the ones that were trying to help me, you know, they were limited as to what they could do because of the people that employed them. And so I've been so used to being limited, you know, like I've been so used to having to not go out and do the things that I want to, having to, you know, only going to certain clubs because I know that they have bathrooms close, and, you know, just little things that people don't think about, that access, right? And I have spent so much time having to limit myself that I've had a really hard time getting out of that mindset, getting out of that headspace of I don't have to limit myself anymore, and I don't have to not do this job because I physically can't anymore. And I do still have some physical, I wouldn't say disabilities, but difficulties, right? Being very physically active is still painful for me. And I'm starting physical therapy next month, and I'm really, really excited because like I really like want to get back to like working out and just, or even just being able to like go on long walks and enjoy it. Like I can only do like exercise maybe twice a week without laying myself out for the rest of the week. So I'm going to physical therapy next month, and I'm really excited because it's just going to open up so many doors. And there are definitely some jobs that I have wanted to explore doing, but I've been afraid of doing them because I didn't feel like I was physically able. And I don't want that to be a problem for me anymore. Like I definitely know what I want to do. I know where I want to go with my life, and I just have to stop being afraid of doing it. So when I saw my doctor last, I told him, I was like, I want to find a good physical therapist, somebody that can help me, because I want to be able to move freely and not be in pain for the next 3 days. And he was like, you want a good physical therapist? Bet, I got you. That's how good my doctor is. So I'm definitely like leaving fear to the wind. And if anything, I think this last year, with all the stuff that happened with the weird job situation, and that whole thing was just a hot ass mess, and everybody ended up getting fired. Like, I mean, if that doesn't sum up the pandemic in a nutshell, then I don't know what does. But that situation taught me that, you know, I am fully capable of picking myself up, dusting myself off, and making shit work. Because I never thought that I would be without a 9-to-5 and actually be able to pay off debts and raise my credit score and do all these really cool things just because that's what I wanted to do. Like, a lot of that shit I wasn't doing when I had a 9-to-5, you know? So being able to do that on my own terms, like, that just taught me, like, I need to stop being so afraid of, like, living and afraid of succeeding, because I've always been so afraid that I was going to succeed in something and then, you know, the other shoe would drop and then I would fail at it, you know? And that's not my life anymore, and I have to start living like that's my life. So yeah, that is it for this video. Just kind of, really, those are my goals for the year. Those are the things that I plan on leaving in 2021. I just want to be a more whole person. I want to be happy, regardless of the extraneous things that are going on in my life. Like, at the end of the day, a job is not going to give me my ultimate happiness, you know? YouTube is not going to give me my ultimate happiness, but it really matters about what I'm doing in here internally, you know? So I'm really curious just to see, like, how have you guys been starting off your year? I'm not usually one to come up with, like, all these goals and things like that, but I feel like 2021, like, really opened my eyes this year. And it's definitely, like, now that my eyes have been open to where I am in my life and the things that I really need in my life, I can't close them. Like, I can't unsee what I have seen, and I can't not understand the things that I understand now. So y'all let me know down in the comments, like, what are the things that have really just been, like, the big, like, pivotal moments for you in 2021 and the things that you want to change. Overall, I just want to keep enjoying this channel. I don't think I said it in my week of favorites because those were all filmed before I hit 7K, but thank you guys for 7K. I've always felt like, you know, I've really just enjoyed the flow on this channel. Like, I really enjoy just seeing the slow growth. It allows me to appreciate it more. I think sometimes when you blow up, it's a little bit more difficult to appreciate it. It's so overwhelming. And I've appreciated, like, this steady growth that I've had. It's allowed me to enjoy the moments and reflect on some things that aren't as good, but to also just really, really be happy about the good things that are happening, you know? You guys know I have love for all of you. And I just appreciate every single one of you. And I'm really excited for this year. Like, I don't know, I just feel like even though there are so many horrible things happening in this world, I feel like this is the opportunity for me to really, like, elevate, and that's really what I'm trying to do this year. So thank you guys so much for watching. I'm back. We gonna be doing the damn thing. I can't promise you that I'm gonna be the Monday, Wednesday, Friday girl, because I be trying to do that and it organized chaos, y'all. Organized chaos. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye.